rumor, AKB48 is finally out. I have been wanting to do a reaction for any of their music, and this is the first time they've come out with one in over a year, I think. So happy about that. Excited to hear this. What was sent to me was actually the dance practice video. Let's get to it. '58 single, holy. It's just, they're so different. Okay. Okay. Well, I think one of the things that I really love about Japanese girl groups is that it's not all grinding and hips when it comes to their choreography. Especially then, this is just a happy dance, and they don't, again, not a lot of grinding and a lot of hips. There's a lot of dancing, which to me, because of all my biases and all my backgrounds, it points more towards celebration, just having fun, rather than seduction and stuff. And it's so upbeat right from the beginning. The way that the girls themselves are just throwing their bodies towards the move, it's making me so happy. Watching them makes me so happy that I'm watching a group of obviously very sexy, very beautiful women that are just not here to do anything seductive. They're just dancing and singing and having fun. Also, I did read the lyrics earlier before actually watching the video, because I didn't know that there was going to be an English translation. But anyway, so I kind of know what the song is all about. But just again, watching them, that's the other. So the other thing is that the first things that I observed, this is not a professionally lighted studio. They're just in a gym. So some are washed out and they don't care. It's so refreshing. It's an actual dance practice. That's what it feels like. A lot of the dance practice that I see aren't, that they've been made up, and they're not practicing. They're actually here for performance. Here it feels like an actual dance practice. Good. Very happy. See, all of these moves are very androgynous. So happy. These are just silly, not silly. Yeah, silly, but in a good way. It's a lot of throwback to the 80s or maybe even the 70s in terms of the steps, and I love this part because it's kind of like a Charlie Chaplin kind of move. The one before that, this one, when they were swinging their legs, or maybe before that. I love that part. Love this part very much. Throwback towards the 70s and the 80s kind of dance steps. See, it's like a Charlie Chaplin kind of dance. Love it. Okay, some tooting. You gotta give it to the synchronization of the group. Love that part. So I love how I don't know how to describe that specific part of the routine when they were just swinging their legs. Feels like a Charlie Chaplin kind of thing, but the through the course of the whole video, it feels they're just a group of girls that are friends that are just having fun and throwing their bodies to the beat without a care in the world. It's not about, as I've said earlier, it's not about seduction, not about trying to be sexy, no grinding, no hips, whatever. It's just them having fun. That's one. You got to give it to this how synchronized they are, especially when they came together. So beautiful. And again, the transition. There's not a lot of credit given when you're dancing like this. When it seems like it's just a simple routine. There's not a lot of emphasis put on just how fluid is the transition is from one position to another. It doesn't. The thing is that when a transition doesn't feel like a transition, that's a good transition. And they're doing it. It doesn't feel like they're moving from one place to another, making this formation for the sake of emphasizing a group of girls or whatever. It doesn't feel like that. Everything feels like a solid part of a choreography. So here from an expansive how many women there are, it doesn't feel like they're trying to form another shape in order to transition from a smaller group for emphasis, right? Because it's gonna happen in a bit. There. So another transition, but it doesn't feel like they change their positions or whatever. This is the synchronized part. Just you gotta give it to them. That's a lot of practice and it requires a lot of skill. See, again, they transition to make another shape, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's all part of one solid choreography. And then, I love this part. I swear. See, another transition, but it doesn't feel like they're transitioning. Best ending. So I was talking about the transition I was talking about was whenever they form a smaller group. So from here, sorry, back a little. So from a big group, they're going to transition to form smaller groups, I guess, in order to emphasize different people. See, it doesn't feel like they just exited the scene so that they could emphasize this 5 girls. It doesn't feel like that. Everything feels like it's all part of the choreography. And then from 5, others will start coming in, but it doesn't feel like, okay, everyone needs to come together now. It doesn't feel like that. It's all, there's a visual story into everything. So they don't get a lot of credit for how they make a really difficult thing looks very, very simple. And whoever the choreographer is, they don't get a lot of credit for that, but they're very, very good in doing that. They also don't get a lot of credit for actually contributing on how they project women, especially in a very patriarchal society. I know there's a lot of criticisms towards how they're packaged to be dolls and fantasized by men, but the fact is that they have been able to, and this is moving away from a reaction in their video, but this video and this song is actually a good representation of what they have done. They have always done things in their terms, that okay, you want to you want to look at us, you want to whatever fantasize over us, but we're gonna do it in our terms, and you're just gonna have to submit to our terms, or you don't do it at all. And this piece, this single, the choreography is a perfect example of that. They don't necessarily have to subscribe to how women are supposed to be sexy and how they move and whatever. They can just do whatever they want. It's gonna look fun, it's gonna be great, and you're either down with it or not. But the other thing is that the song itself is actually quite fun. It's they mentioned something about how women are being looked at, the stereotypes towards women, that just because they're wearing their scrunchie at this age, they are supposed to be something like this or something like that, when it's not, so they just ignore it and they go through with their life. And the rumor refers to the lyrics are supposed to be about this rumor that you like me. There's a rumor that you like me, and and their attitude towards towards that rumor. So it's nothing ideological, nothing. It's not revolutionary kind of thought, nothing provocative, something very simple and something very fun, and I like it. And they should actually get recognition for actually projecting how women are supposed to have, the kind of disposition that women are supposed to have. That you should do things your terms, on your own terms. Like, you can't control how men are going to look at you. You can't control how people are going to look at you based on your looks. And this is not just for women, but for anybody. You wear certain things, they're going to stereotype you a certain way, and you can't control that. But you can control how you're going to react. In this video, they're just okay. So they're wearing schoolgirl uniform, but this is how they're gonna move, and this is how they're going to sound like, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be great, and it is. Love it.